Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev now joining us. Sadhguru, thank you so much for being with us. Amitabh Bachchan is with us, Jayaji is with us as well. I was there with you, Sadhguru, a few days back in Lucknow as you were rolling out the Rally for Rivers, and you were saying this is essentially an attempt to plant millions and millions of trees on the banks of rivers and catchment areas and asking farmers to do it because you feel that's the long-term solution to the problem of rivers. Perhaps you could just share some details of that, and then we can all perhaps have some questions for you.
Namaskaram to all of you there participating in this Swachh clean nation, which is most important. Coming to the Rally for Rivers, this is not just about planting a few trees, because India's rivers largely are forest-fed rivers. 96% of India's river water is forest-fed. It essentially means the precipitation that we get or the rain that we get in approximately 40 to 45 days on an average across the country, if it has to flow for 365 days, there is only one way. That is, there has to be substantial vegetation, a network of root systems and bioactivity for it to be held in the land so that it can flow as a river. If we had glacial rivers, we wouldn't have this issue, but only 4% of our water is glacial. So, this is not some rocket science, this is not something that I'm saying new. For always we have known that our rivers are forest-fed. This means, unless there are forests, we cannot retain our rivers. When the rain happens, there will be floods, otherwise there will be droughts. You're already seeing this cycle of flood and drought happening in the country. So, this is a comprehensive plan. Fortunately for us, 25% of the riparian land is in the government hands. So, this we will definitely convert it into forest, which we are working with the state governments already. And the remaining part of the land, we are asking for a minimum of 1 kilometer buffer of vegetation to shift farmers from crop-based agriculture to tree-based agriculture. This will work in terms of farmers' economics in a much better way. Farmer can improve his economy or his income by 3 to 8 times over in a matter of 6 to 7 years' time. This is very much possible. We have already demonstrated this in small modules. Now the next step, after this policy is drafted, this policy is passed in the parliament, if that happens, after that the next thing is to set up large-scale modules, a comprehensive module to show that it's commercially successful. Once it's commercially successful, I think there will be no looking back. The most important aspect of this rally has been, there has been an unprecedented support from across the country, celebrities, media, and just about everybody supporting this. Above all, across the political spectrum, various parties ruling different states, every one of them have come together. This has been the major hurdle in the country, rivers being a concurrent subject. Getting the concurrence of the states has been the major challenge. With this rally, fortunately, we have crossed this challenge because now political parties are speaking in one voice, and this is a tremendous thing for India. This is a wonderful aspect of India, though we are capable of fighting for every small thing. When real issues come, we all stand together as one Bharat. That is truly beautiful of the nation. That's what I've witnessed in the last 30 years. It's been 9,300 kilometers and over 146 events across the country and over 180 one-on-one media with people. So, we've been continuously driving and talking last 30 days. Thank you very much for having me on the show. My congratulations to all of you, Vikram, Amitabh Bachchan and everybody else who is there for participating in this, because it's most important we get every Indian to be a part of this.
I know you have to leave, Sadhguru, for your other event. Let me see, Amitji has a quick question for you.
Sadhguru, this is Amitabh Bachchan, and let me compliment you on this wonderful gesture and this campaign of yours. I just wanted to ask, how do you actually exercise this campaign? No, don't say it's
my campaign.
How do you actually exercise this campaign? How do you actually get people to go and plant these trees by the side of the river?
How do you actually implement it? That's what you're asking, right?
That's right.
Yes. So one thing is we are looking for a policy change. Till now, all the policies that concern our rivers are always about how to share the water among people, among different states and different aspects of usage. So now we are talking about how to revitalize the rivers. One of the biggest things that have happened, but people are unconscious of is, say let's take Ganga for example. Ganga is the largest river basin in the country, covering nearly 25% of India's geography, accounts for 33% of India's agriculture. But in Ganga basin, in the last 50 years, we have removed 94% of the tree cover, 94%. If you remove 94% of the tree cover, what is our plan for this nation? So right now the policy is towards this. As I said, fortunately 25% of the land is in government hands. This will be made into forests. We've already signed MOUs with various states, and state governments are pretty aggressive and active about this policy. And when it comes to the farmlands, we have to convert them into tree-based agriculture, which involves horticulture, medicinal trees and variety of things. This is an entire plan how to develop an ecosystem. So this is why I said we want to develop a large-scale module, 50 to 100 kilometer stretch of land with the necessary supportive industry, that is cold storages, value addition industries and other aspects, so that the farmer is supported. First the industry invests, then the farmer invests. And also the pollution aspect, which has become a serious thing. See, one mistake we have done is we are asking the polluting industries to set up treatment plants. Now the policy is looking at how we should set up treatment plants or waste treatment as a business by itself. This is a filth to wealth module, where waste treatment is a business by itself. Once it's a business by itself, they will make sure all industrial pollution or city pollution will definitely come to them, because that is their raw material, that's their business, they will ensure that it will happen. So this is a comprehensive plan running to over 700 pages. We will be presenting it to the central government tomorrow.
Sadhguru, with all due respects, I actually wanted to know, physically, how do you expect to plant all these trees on the side of the river? We've heard all these problems with the Ganga and the Jamna and every river.
Yes.
We've had from the last 8 hours here people sitting and telling us exactly what the level of pollution is. But your scheme of planting the river banks with trees is very noble. But how do you actually get people to go there? How will you plant these trees? What happens to the people that are already owning that land for agricultural purpose? How do you ask them to get out from there and do alternate agriculture? How do you do that?
No, we don't ask them to get out from there. This is what I'm saying. We will set up large-scale modules which are economically successful, which we've already done on small scale, and many other nations have done this very large scale. If you take, let us say, 1,000 farmers and 10,000 hectares of land and make sure that you demonstrate that this is economically very lucrative for the farmer, after that you cannot stop it. Like a revolution, it will happen. So in every state, we want to set up large-scale modules which are commercially successful. Nobody need to get out of their land, they just have to transform their agriculture into a more productive and more lucrative way of doing things.
Right.
Sacrificing land has always been a huge problem, Sadhguru. And I'm sure that you're aware that every time a new dam is wanted to be built, there is a huge amount of revelation of farmers not wanting to leave that place. So I'm just keen to know how practically this will happen.
No, there is no need for any farmer to leave the place. Right now the reason why a whole lot of farmers stick to paddy cultivation, wheat cultivation and sugar cane, which are the very thirsty crops, is because these are the only three produce for which we have support price. It is an insurance for the farmer. Now in the policy we are trying to bring support price for every other crop, including pulses, fruits, vegetables and all those which are perishable items which have very low shelf life, to build cold storages and value addition industries. So we are in collaboration with the CII to build these aspects. So nobody need to give up their land, nobody need to go hungry. It will be a much better economic module. It's an economic module with an ecological impact.
Right. Sadhguru, I know you have to go for your event. You just finished your rally today and I know you have your event. So thank you so much for joining us.